Well, that's top shelf.
Well, I'm not a very good podcaster.
I can't even stand listening to myself.
I'm not following our bullshit.
Hello, America. It's time to check the nonsense at the door, clear the cobwebs between your ears, and have a rational-ish conversation. This is the lost art of common sense.
That's right, America. I'm Josh.
And I'm Kevin.
And this is the lost art of common sense. And today we're talking about Ukraine. But before we get started, we want to share a video that we found straight out of Ukraine. All right. So after seeing that gem,
Yeah, it's something.
do you think Zelensky, the great Ukrainian pianist, is
something?
Yeah. Well, is he a good solo artist though? I've only seen him play the piano with another person.
That's true. I don't know. I've never seen him.
He looks like he's bulked up a bit too. He's been hitting the weights.
Yeah, steroids.
He looks scrawny in that video.
He probably got some Russian steroids.
Probably. That's fucked up. But is he the great military leader? The guardian of democracy the media seems to make him out to be?
No, he's not. What he is a, I don't know, how do you put it? He's a fake president, I would say.
Well, he was elected.
Yeah, was he? I mean, was it a...
I'm not saying nobody had a hand in him.
Was he elected like President Biden was elected?
What are you saying?
Nothing. Just wondering. No, he's not any of the stuff. What he is a street urchin. He begs for money. He wants everybody to hand him out stuff. I would guess, it has greatly increased his wealth in the last year or so.
We do know that all the pensions are covered.
So I'm guessing. No, I think he's a sham. He's a scam artist, and he is pretty much, I don't know, using this war to profit for himself. He is not a guardian of democracy. He's not any of this crap. He's somebody who's warmongering to that is definitely not benefiting his people. This is not a war that he can win, I don't think. We'll get into that later. But I think he's just doing this, and I think he's being puppet mastered by U.S. officials.
Yeah, I don't think you could just say Democrats. I think it's Washington.
No, it's all of Washington. Mitch McConnell, any other fucking Republican person that went over there to see the war zone that,
it's kind of funny. When I saw some of the videos, like when Biden went over there or when he's out talking to people, it kind of reminds me of what's her face in Hunger Games 3.
Oh yeah, where they're just doing a mock or like
they mock things up to make it look better.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously the war's not fake, but like that's what annoys the crap out of me because everybody's like, "Oh, yeah, Zelensky."
Well, they played
and what they don't do is they don't tell anybody that he's closing down churches. I think he might even be arresting some people. I just know that it has to do with it's a Christian church, but I think its roots are based
probably Russian Orthodox.
I think it is.
Yeah.
And he also got rid of all the media.
Yeah.
Like if you talk bad about the war, he's...
Well, I mean, I think he's an elected president that's becoming a dictator. And I can tell you what, they're not going to have another election while war's going on. So
no, we do. We have elections.
We do. Well, but I mean, we haven't been invaded. If we were being invaded, do you think there'd be an election?
No, because our longest war we switched presidents, but that's because Roosevelt died, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So technically, I don't know if we have had an election during a modern war. I know we did have elections.
I mean, we've had the Iraq War, the war in Afghanistan.
Well, yeah, we have had a 20-year war, so
yeah,
it's a little different because we don't have
Well, they're not invading us either.
Yeah, we don't have land incursion wars yet. No, and then like the way he expects things, like his tone when he asks for shit, it's like, oh, thanks for the tanks. Where are my F-16s?
Yeah,
Like
he thinks he deserves these handouts.
Yeah, so I think we both can agree that we don't like Zelensky.
No.
Not a good poster child.
Not a good pianist.
I'm pretty sure we might have touched this in the
pianist.
pianist.
He pianist.
It wasn't even
that
a good
piano.
song.
No.
He did pianist that piano.
Yeah.
We might have covered this in Russia, but like, why the hell do you think Russia invaded Ukraine in the first place?
Well, I think it's Putin trying to preserve his legacy, I guess. Taking back Ukraine.
I think it was a miscalculation on his part on that one.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I don't think he thought the U.S. would, and all the European countries would, like, jump into it. Because basically when Obama just kind of gave them Crimea. So why would you expect anything less, So when, a past Democrat president just gives you a section of a country and does basically nothing about it, and actually, he admonished him, but also I think we aided Russia invading Syria at the time.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. So as we're admonishing them, we also gave them money and I think weapons to help Russia invade Syria.
Well, yeah, that wouldn't be surprising. Speaking of, I also think he invaded them because see, that's why I kind of think like this was kind of pushed to start. A little conspiracy theory, but like Russia told them that Ukraine will not join NATO. Like, he won't stand for it.
Yeah.
And Zelensky kept pushing for it, and so did we.
Yeah.
So I think that's another reason why I was like, all right, well, you tried to get in, so he invaded. I think that was one of the reasons. I just know he looks kind of like an ass. Speaking of us helping them, NATO's giving them money, even though we're giving like everything else. We're giving them like 75% of the funds and military assets and all that shit. Is our involvement helping? Like, are we protecting democracy and free society over there? Or like, what do you think our funds are actually doing over there?
I think what we're doing is I think it's a money laundering scheme more than anything. I think they might have just passed legislation in the House to monitor all the funds now any new funds going to Ukraine, but I could be wrong about that. I'm not positive.
The other thing I know that for sure they're talking about is finally saying that the Iraq war is over. And I think they're going to drop the COVID emergency.
They did drop the COVID emergency.
How's people going to get their tuitions paid then? Because that's how he was paying them.
I think that's dead.
That's all I'm saying.
But speaking of NATO, I think Finland just joined NATO. Finland or Poland? One of them just joined NATO.
I mean, I think
like today,
NATO
Thursday, whatever the date is.
NATO in general kind of like circles
the 30th,
the eastern border of Russia. Not like border on border, but NATO like encompasses the eastern border of Russia.
Yeah. Well, one of them just got, I think, joined.
Yay. I wonder what they're going to add.
Nothing. All they're going to do is siphon off more money from us. I mean, NATO is what? Us and the countries around Russia, like that area, and maybe Germany. Is the UK part of it?
Yeah.
Okay, so the UK, Germany, probably, I don't know if France is.
Yeah.
Probably most of Europe, Eastern or Western
I would
Europe.
say that, from my understanding, and I
have no idea what countries are in NATO.
Well, I watched a World War II thing on Hillsdale College with Victor David Hansen. That guy's awesome. He was a smart dude. He did a World War II lecture, and
watched a lot of lectures.
It kind of seemed like Russia was like, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, because nobody liked Russia back then, and they kind of needed their help, and they lost millions of people. Like, I think Russia lost more than anybody, people-wise, in World War II than anybody. But when the war was over, it's like, all right, well, now we have the Soviet Union to deal with. So, like, that's kind of where that alliance. So I think pretty much everybody who is, I don't know this for sure because I'm talking my ass, which is
Well,
most of
whatever.
what this
We do that
podcast
quite
is.
a bit.
But it would make sense that the people that were ravaged by the Nazis would also join NATO, as just so that couldn't happen again. Because all NATO is if you attack one, then they all attack.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would think any country that got attacked during World War II and was taken over would be in NATO
Probably.
to offer up a whole lot of nothing.
Yep.
The NATO president came out today and was like, they're all giving 2% of GDP. Awesome. Thanks for the 20 spot, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I don't know.
Jesus. But yeah, I think the only good thing to come out of this whole deal is that maybe movies will have a concentrated enemy. You know how like in the 80s it was always Russia like as the bad guys? Maybe it can be that way again.
Yeah, but really the enemy should probably be China.
Probably, but we can't.
One of these days, we might actually do the China episode and explain why.
But I mean, because China is it has a lot of viewers, so we can't be Hollywood's never going to go against China.
No, Hollywood and everybody's like, oh no, we can't make China mad.
But Russia's a cold, dark hellscape of a Siberian bitch.
They got some pretty neat looking buildings, though.
They do have some neat titty buildings.
It's like it's very mystical.
Yeah.
And architecturally erotic.
It is. Those are some plump buildings.
Well, okay. Here's my thing, because it's just like there's so much like people are saying like, oh, we need to do this, oh, we need to do that. Do you think we're actually like aiding to help Ukraine out, or do you think like right now, especially how we're pushing it, do you think Ukraine's kind of became a replacement for the 20-year war, that we just got out of the Middle East to keep the, military industrial complex gears turning?
Of course it's because of the industrial,
because
military industrial complex. Because what it is we always have to be in war because there's a lot of money in war. There's a lot of manufacturing jobs in war. There's a lot of, our defense budget like almost needs us to be in war. I
mean, God forbid we advanced our technology and stockpile weapons. And
you know how I know this because we are doing nothing to try to make like Ukraine and Russia have a ceasefire or a peace treaty. There's no concession being even talked about on either side. And usually, like, if there's a war between two nations, like I wouldn't say equal nations, but like two civilized nations, we usually try to have a peace treaty. We try to be like the middleman to try to be like, hey, why don't you guys, like, you concede to this and you concede to this and we can ceasefire and all this. We're doing nothing of this. There is no end goal in this.
What are you talking about? We gave all those money and weapons to Georgia when Russia invaded.
Oh, yeah.
No,
we didn't do nothing like that.
They were like, stop it.
Yeah, or Belarus. Belarus got a bunch of tons of weapons and stuff from us. Nope. Ukraine is more of a Western civilized. We had a lot of money in Ukraine. The Bidens alone had a lot of money in Ukraine. So obviously,
So it's in America's interest, i.e. Washington.
Yeah, not America's interest. It's not my interest.
No.
It's in Washington's interest to keep this going.
Yeah, it's kind of what I was thinking because it's like it's just weird how we go from one thing to the next, and it's like it doesn't make any sense. Do you think people so it doesn't matter. There's people on both sides. Like the one thing that people seem to agree on is whether or not they're Republicans, Democrats, whatever. Like some of the Republicans will come out, and I guess everyone's like, yeah, we need to end the war by supplying them with more money, more weapons, everything. And do you think they really want this war to end? And if not, what do you think our representatives pushing its motives are?
Money, always money. This whole podcast is about how Washington is just siphoning off money from this war. This is a corrupt war. This is a war about people lining their pockets. This is a war that's destroying families and killing people both on Russia. I'm more on Russia, I think, than Ukraine right now.
See, I don't know. It
I don't
depends.
know,
I've
but
heard
because
that Russia's actually been. They're not going to do any positive, like not positive, but like if Russia starts winning, I don't think they're going to report it. But I've heard it both ways. I've heard Ukraine's doing good.
Yeah.
I've heard Russia's been like having some pretty big.
well, I mean, either way,
Attacks.
there's a lot of death going on.
Yeah,
And this is it's evil is what it is. It's profiteering off of death, and I don't see any remorse from anybody in Washington. Like, they're not trying to end this. The best way to end this would be through peace talks, not by fueling the flame by giving weapons and money to one side. That's not how you end a war, especially a
proxy war where you don't even.
Yeah, a proxy war. I mean, you're not going, especially when, even with money and weapons, they're supposed to be just defensive weapons.
Tanks are defensive weapons, Kevin.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're not supposed to give them weapons of, like missiles that can shoot into Russia. It's supposed to be like defensive missiles.
They haven't done that.
I know, but I mean, Ukraine can't win. Yeah, we have. There's no way they're going to what? How does Ukraine win? Well, let me ask you, how does Ukraine win the war? What is a win? Is it Russia going back, or is it are they going to try to retaliate once Russia, even if Russia did go back? Would Ukraine retaliate? Do you think Putin's going to?
Well, Ukraine, I thought, has done incursions into Russia with drones.
I believe they have.
And like
I don't know that for a fact. If you know for a fact.
I do know that they attacked a bridge in Russia.
Yeah.
And then I guess Putin destroyed a town or something because they did it.
Yeah.
It's like, how dare you attack me after attacking them?
Yeah.
Well, that's why I don't trust anybody. Like, when you hear people, I don't care who it is, I think every damn person, there's very few people in Washington saying that the war needs to end. It's like everyone's like, through like treaties or whatever, it's always like, we need to send them more money, we need to send them more weapons. I don't trust anybody that says that. If that's their outlook on it, I don't trust them. And why the hell would you even consider giving the Ukrainians F-16s or F-15, whatever our most advanced fighter is, our Gen 5 fighters?
I don't know.
You're going to take a chance because there's no way that
we're going to give a bunch to the Taliban, so.
No, we didn't give them our Gen 5 fighters.
No.
We just gave them our super highly technologically advanced Blackhawks.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But it's like, I don't trust any of them that say that. Like, they're literally like preventing them from having peace talks. And then you hear like Crenshaw came on. He's like, well, we can't let them win in Ukraine because then they'll just think they can do whatever they want on the world stage. Okay. He knows that's bullshit. The only thing that Russia has really are nukes. And I'm thinking they're old.
They are old.
Yeah. So, but that's what makes them a super. You take their nukes away, obviously we've seen. Because how can you say that we can't let Russia do whatever they want on the world stage when they can't even freaking beat Ukraine? Like, I mean, granted, ours is probably a little bit bigger of an advantage, but that's almost like us going to war with Canada or Mexico and it taking a year to end.
Yes, no, that's absolutely what it's like. I mean, obviously.
But what I'm saying is Putin has proven that the mighty Russian army isn't as mighty as he looks like an ass. Yeah. Now, if Ukraine...
This is why he's not going to stop, though.
But now, if they keep feeding Ukraine and they keep it going long enough to where the people will actually turn against them, like they get tired of it, that would be the only way I can see them winning. Like an actual Russian defeat, I think that's what it looks like.
I think that's the only way it is.
To where, like, they're like, nope, we got to pull out.
I can tell you what, Putin seems like kind of a dick. So
he is a dick.
I don't think he's just gonna.
And he's a German.
I don't think he's gonna like just back off and go home. That's not in his nature. I think he's gonna be. I will fight this war until my death, or I win.
What do you think will happen if now? Here's another thing too. This is gonna sound bad, but they're like, well, we can't let Russia win the Ukraine war, or like they're basically saying Ukraine has to win. We have to keep giving them money and weapons because if we don't and they lose, then China's going to attack Taiwan. Here's a couple differences. And also, they're saying, look, then he could attack a NATO country. Okay, well, if he attacks a NATO country, every freaking country
that's
in
totally
NATO
it's totally
attacks
different.
them.
It's totally different.
Like, that's stupid. Like, if they attack a NATO country, then that's U.S.
There's no
Okay,
way he's going to attack NATO
we're
country.
in.
He's not that dumb.
Like, all their excuses
Unless
are making,
he wants to end the world, he's not that dumb.
Yeah, the excuses they're making to saying this war doesn't make any sense.
Nope.
Because you can easily counter any of the arguments like, oh, you just can't let Russia go around the world doing whatever they want. Okay, he can't. Obviously, he can't even beat Ukraine. So obviously, their military is not.
Yeah, and this China-Taiwan thing is.
And this is where it sounds bad. Okay, because if China attacks Taiwan, we will defend Taiwan. Because
Yes.
Taiwan has stuff that we want.
Yeah, Ukraine has nothing.
They are
Some
a huge
wheat.
bread belt, but we don't need that.
No, we have wheat. It's called Kansas.
That's all it is.
So we're good there. We can.
But that's what I say. Like, it's not the same. Like, none of that is the same.
No.
Like, all their excuses are bullshit.
No,
So it makes
it's
me think
it's money.
Yeah, that's what makes me think it's about money.
No, it's
just,
absolutely about money. That's all it is.
I mean, it's fucked up too, because it takes me off anytime you see and normally Republicans were like, yeah, America kicking some ass, but we're not fighting this war. There's no reason for us to be fighting this war.
No,
other than protecting Washington D.C.'s interests over in Ukraine.
Yeah, Washington.
And
DC's.
the fact that this could have ended. Well, for one, I truly do believe this never would have happened if Trump was president. They could have ended it 3 months in.
Yeah,
they could have had a treaty.
Yeah, but we told them not to sign it. We pushed Ukraine not to broker a deal with Russia.
Yeah, so really, all the people that are dying in Ukraine today, since that point, is on really the Biden administration.
If we were a higher production podcast, I would put in the references I have, but I'm not going to do that because
we don't have the money.
We don't have the money. You know how we get money? If people subscribe, and share our content.
And be sure to comment.
And be sure to comment. It helps the algorithm.
And I'm not going to lie. We had a gentleman that was obviously far left commenting on one of our Facebook posts.
That's awesome.
And he ended by sharing a meme that says, tap your heels together 3 times and go fuck yourself. And we thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, but he blocked us.
And I was actually going on to give him props because that was a funny meme. And he blocked us. We weren't even mean to him.
No, I just, I said this. All I said was, sent him a Trump meme. Said that's a pretty big statement.
Yeah, he said all kinds of mean things.
Yeah.
I think that wasn't the first time he told us to go fuck ourselves.
No, he told us to go fuck ourselves at least 3 times.
He was very angry. But that last one was...
That was magic.
That was a good one.
Yeah. And I don't even know if you watched it.
Probably not.
So he at least watched it.
If you share, subscribe, comment, it does help. And, if we get bigger, maybe we'll stop saying it. And I heard...
Well, I'm not going to stop saying it.
What I really want... I don't ask for likes or shares because it makes it ungenuine. It's I'm genuinely asking.
I am begging now.
It helps, because we're living in an age where, you have shadow banning and all that shit, and now we're focusing on Rumble. We upload YouTube, but I don't share boosting that crap because you never know when they're gonna do it. So it helps and it's appreciated. So
I do appreciate every one of you people who watch this show,
even if you hate us.
Yeah, if you hate us, tell us. I don't mind having a quick banter with you back and forth on why your opinion is wrong.
That's true.
So, one of my favorite things is arguing with people. It's just something to do. I don't even care. It's not like you're hurting my feelings. I don't care. But I do making people feel stupid.
Are you making them feel stupid, or are you opening their eyes and mind to
I hope both.
More positive, outlook on life?
I never insult.
Because here's the thing, Kevin. It seems like a lot of people on the left are very angry.
They are, and I make it a point not to insult anybody. I make it a point to just go with them from facts.
Yeah.
And that's it. And if you can't defeat facts, you're probably wrong. So, but that was my favorite meme I have seen in a long time.
Yeah, that was good.
So, yeah. You want to tell us to go fuck ourselves?
Do it in a creative, awesome way.
Yes, please.
And we'll share it on the show.
So, thanks. But where were we?
Well, this basically led to because we already talked about Ukraine. If it has any chance of help beating Russia,
No, the answer is no.
they would have to. It'd be basically wearing them out.
Yeah,
Which
wearing
they're
them
already
out,
worn out.
or Putin dies.
Yeah, they're already. There are some makeshift guns, like some goofy ass looking guns on both sides.
Well, that's because they're shooting with like World War II style guns or World War One style guns. I mean, they're using
Yeah,
They're
literally
all supply.
anything they can get.
like after the Cold War, Russia sold a lot of its armaments. Like what they
I wonder if they did.
because especially when it fell, the Soviet Union fell, because
The
like
military
everything.
kind of separated from the government. Didn't
Yeah, so what happened was like the military, like it became so like confusing over there that people were just trying to get rich because so they sold guns to
I wonder if
the
that's where
Lord
all
of
the-
War, and like that's how he made like the Lord of War guy. That's how he made most of his money was from when the Soviet Union fell.
Do you think that's why everyone in the Middle East has an AK-47?
Yes, that's absolutely why.
Well, that was a dumb idea.
Well, the
'cause
Middle East, a lot of the poor countries in like Africa and stuff, like everybody's got guns. Like it's weird not to have a gun.
Oh, that's true.
Like Libya and all that. Libya's in where's that at? That's Middle East.
I thought that was in Africa. I don't know.
It might
I'm
be
not
Africa.
I'm not a
Geographist.
guy.
I don't think that's what it is.
It's probably not.
But yeah, that's why like there's so many AK-47 floating around the freaking.
Well,
world.
they are good guns.
They are.
I mean, they're not super accurate, and they're. I mean, you could call their bullets kind of door kickers. It's a big, fat, not super fast moving bullet, but I mean they're reliable. You can have all kinds of.
But
shit
I
in
mean,
them.
yeah, they can have fucking sand and dirt. And
But
all
the
kinds
thing
of
is,
shit
they're
wet.
not using those guns.
No,
They're using like
that's because they sold.
there
all
was
their
literally a
AK-47s.
dude who duct taped like a sniper spotter, like thermal scope, to his gun
Huh.
with duct tape.
I don't think that's fucking sighted in well.
No, I'm pretty sure. Anytime you move it, it probably loses its zero.
Oh, absolutely.
Like it's, I don't know. It's some weird.
Well, like I said, I
Weird
don't think they
shit.
have a lot of armaments in either country. I mean, Ukraine's getting more because we're just sending it to them. So,
Well, in Russia, I think is getting guns.
I think they're getting it from China. I think that's basically why generals,
What
what
do
is
you
it, Z
think-
or whatever his name, Zoo or
But
Z
what do
or
you think will happen?
Z's XI?
I don't know. I don't give a shit. What do you think will happen if China starts giving Russia offensive weapons? Like, will that?
What are we going to do?
Do you think this conflict is going to lead to World War III?
I think there's a chance. I think I would put it at 30%. I would say 30%.
How do you see that kicking off?
I think it would be like if China started supplying Russia with weapons, and even if maybe like Chinese forces actually started to help, Russia. I don't know if they would. I'm not sure what their buddy program is, but
I think China has no respect for Russia whatsoever. They're using
no, they're using them to weaken us.
I don't
Well,
think
they're trying
Putin
to.
is Xi Jinping's dear friend.
No, what I think it is I think China's trying to use Russia to weaken us in a way, because we keep sending them
Well, we are. We're depleting money,
money and military
just our
weapons.
ammo in general.
Yeah.
Like all kinds of stuff. Like we're sending them so much shit over there.
So,
Now, granted, we could ramp up super quick.
yeah. I mean, we showed that in World War II how fast we can ramp up production of,
Here's the thing,
and it's
though.
even more now.
Things are so, and I don't think they're divided 50-50. I don't think we're a 50-50 country. I think we're probably 70
Also, I
30,
think-
80-20.
I think, hold on, real quick. I think if Russia ever gets a little ballsy and attacks a NATO country, I think that could be a start of.
Well, yeah, because then if we attack Russia directly, then China might attack because it's
But I
really, they
think-
already had the Axis deal. It's Iran, China, and Russia,
Yeah.
and I think Saudi Arabia is working something out with Iran too.
Yeah, I think so too.
So it's not good.
No, it's not. And
Is it weird that we're on the brink of another world
what
war
we're
and
doing,
Democrats in power again?
is, you know, no one's like thinking about this long term. No one in Washington. I'm not saying like there's not people who think about this long term. Like, I just don't think anybody in Washington who's making money off of this war is thinking about this long term. They're just thinking about I'm making money.
No, that's why I keep saying like all this crap you see with like people like pushing the vaccines or this or that or this war here or why could they do that? I think they see an economic collapse coming, which looking more and more every day like it's going to happen. And all these assholes in Washington are basically fucking over the country to make short term large gains for long term wealth, for generational wealth.
Yeah,
I think that's like, well, we're fucked, and I'm going to go ahead and make sure we are, but I'm going to make sure me and mine are taken care of.
exactly. So
Where me and mine are supposed to be the U.S. public.
yeah, and it's almost like the left created this when they do their anti-American rhetoric, because that way I guess they don't feel guilty about destroying it. Like even
Well,
any way they can.
you saw the the reaction video you did. That's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah,
And the left got roped into it because apparently the left's more easily manipulated.
yeah. Well, they're a bunch of fucking.
Do you think we're a
Sense.
50-50 or do you think it's? I think we're more like 70-30, something like that.
70
Sane versus crazy, stupid asshole.
I think it's 70
It,
30.
it might be changing a little bit as the youth comes up, but there's been big changes in that. And
I think for the most part, like Americans, like if you want to say Americans, like just y'all, like Americans, I think it's more like 80-20. I think the crazies are just the loudest to where you see them.
Well,
I think for the most part, I think people don't make politics their life. They just want to.
well, the
live.
funny thing is though, it might be 80-20.
It might be 70-30.
Even if it's 70-30 though, but then because I think that is it, but it's weird because then how the hell was there not a huge red wave in 2022?
Because again,
And how in the hell did Biden get more votes than any president in the history of the world?
because when you're just watching the fucking news, and some people just watch it casually, even their local news, when you're just following Facebook, when you follow Facebook and you're just following your local news channels, everything's pro fucking Democrat and boo Republicans. It's easy to be persuaded when you're a simpleton, and you're not looking to do any research. You're just reading headlines off of anything. And basically it's all clickbait shit where no one wants to click. They just want to read the headline and be like, oh, Trump has been arrested, or, and today is March 30th. Trump was just indicted today. Watch our previous video.
Mark at the end of America, right there.
Yeah. So,
I think it's going to blow up in their face. But.
it is. Well, I think it's just going to help Trump.
Yeah, we're in a general discussion now anyway, but I think it will. Well, there's no way in hell he's getting indicted. Okay, here's the thing. There's no way he's getting convicted.
He's not
And
getting
if they hit
convicted.
him with another indictment and then another indictment, all they're going to do is like it makes everything Trump that made him
It's
sound
a witch hunt.
crazy was bitching about. It's like, no, it's all true. He's not crazy. They really is a witch hunt. They really are going after him. Like they're doing nothing. They're going to bring the independence closer to him because what I was saying is how the only way that the difference now and then when for one thing there wasn't 83 or whatever fucking number they said the people who vote for Biden. I don't give a shit who you are. Didn't happen. Whatever. I don't know what happened. There was no way in hell that dude got more votes than any president.
Bye, YouTube.
Bye. No, I didn't say anything. I just said there's no way in hell. There was whatever. But
Something happened.
I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit about YouTube. We get like one view from there. So if you're that one guy, you just
sorry, follow us over to Rumble.
But
was I done talking?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. I forgot what I was talking about.
Well, no, I don't. There's no way he did get 83 million votes.
But no, what I'm saying is like people like, but it's gotten so bad that like before, yeah, stuff was kind of bad, but we were rapidly coming out of the self-inflicted stupid ass recession we put ourselves in because of COVID, our COVID response, which fourth year Trump gave up his presidency, very fucking stupid. But you can feel it now.
Yeah.
You can see it in the store now. The gas prices are going down again. Republicans are passing, so to help that go down. But like you can see it, you can feel it. So it's like, it's just like, oh no, the economy is doing fantastic. No, it's not.
It's not. We're still at over 6% inflation. We're on the verge of a economic collapse, and like we're just like blindly going. I don't know. Like melancholy going into it. Like we're just
There's things really
like people are not knowing it's happening, but it's happening.
That's why I don't understand how so many people are checked out.
Did you see that China and Brazil are stopped trading in the U.S. dollar, that they're using their own currency to trade in?
Because China is trying to become the world currency, and we are losers. Well, we're not. We're fucking winners.
Winners! I don't know.
Our leaders are losers and idiots, and they're letting it happen. Like, it doesn't. Whoever the world superpower is, which right now, for the time being, we're the current only sole superpower.
Definitely not Russia.
That's why, like, granted, our debt is stupid. That's what's really why we have so much inflation. But when you're the big swinging cock on the block, you dictate whatever. I'm like, no, you're using our currency. Like, we're losing that ground fast.
Well, that's because we have a bunch of cucks in fucking Washington, fucking running this country. We have a feeble old man and a freaking jackal laughing vice president, and a bunch of fucking people being influenced by the Democratic fucking machine on what they want, their agendas, and they're not doing anything to actually like stop anything that's been going on. It's been weird.
We're in weird times.
It is weird times.
We're either at, like,
I don't know what the end goal is. I mean, it's either we collapse.
No, that's the end goal. It depends on who you're talking about. The end goal for the Democrats is the collapse of the United States economy. And see, that's another thing. These world globalists think that China's working with them. China's working for China. There's not going to be globalists, including China. It's going to be China
and the rest of the globe,
and the rest. And they'll go after it. But that's what they want. The only way the globalists win, and we all get told what to do by some stupid asshole, probably in a country far, far away where we have no freedoms, is if we just totally collapse as a country. Now, we might be left alone because there's a shit ton of guns in this country, so good luck, Wild West. Like, we might be like Mad Max for a while.
Oh, yeah, I don't mind that.
I don't
know. Whatever.
Fun.
I mean, I think Mad Max was a cool movie. I could see us doing that.
You going to town for Mother's Milk? You can only get it on Thursday.
Yes. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I want to go that far, but, whatever.
I'm just saying that seems the way we're headed. Like, the whole world is being,
Sometimes I wonder if there should just be an asteroid that hits the Earth.
Just remember, if there's an alien invasion.
God, yes, that's what I want.
Us.
I do want an alien invasion, though.
A real alien.
Yeah, not like us doing it.
Not like us using the quantum flux field energy in a replica, not real alien spaceship stuff.
And if you have no idea what we're talking about, go back and watch our Dr. Greer episode.
That's right. It's very all over the place.
Yeah, so, yeah. I think that would be awesome if there was an alien invasion.
I think that's what we need. Well, we need a unifying thing in this country because, like,
we do.
I don't know. We're gonna have a little talk about that next week. We're gonna be doing something about not necessarily on the shooting that happened this week, but like shootings in general, the response, gun control, stuff like that.
Things that could possibly stop these shootings or
what we
limit
causing them, stuff like that. Like that's gonna be next week. So, and it'll be interesting to find out since it'll be past this. When is the first? Is that Monday? Wait, today's the 30th.
30th, so Saturday.
Saturday. It'll be interesting to find out when this comes out how this weekend went with the
Trans Day of Vengeance.
Day of Vengeance, which they changed it to Vengeance after the transgender school shooter was shot. They did that after that.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. Well, if you notice, like they're always talking. They immediately they don't even really talk about the people that were killed. They went immediately to talking about how trans people are trying to commit genocide and trans. Nobody gives a shit. They care about when you start fucking around with kids.
Yeah. Can I ask you? Anybody out there? can you give me one example of a genocidal move against trans people? Like, has there been a coordinated effort to? I mean, they're already like they already can't reproduce because they're mutilating themselves.
No, they're considering it because they're denying people the medication and surgeries.
No, they're denying children. You can still do it as an adult.
That's what they're doing, though. They're twisting
It's not
that.
it's not genocide. It's just having children and making informed decisions as they turn into an adult. That's all they're doing, is because they can't force a child to, they can't manipulate a young mind into their weird cult.
Well,
that's why cults are
usually
made up by younger people, like anywhere from like 15 to 20, like early 20s.
People.
Yeah, because they're idiots and they can be easily manipulated.
I was never this stupid.
Do you think like Democrats? This is why colleges are set up the way they are, because they can manipulate early, and because the mind is still, growing, and you're still figuring out who you are. So enough manipulation, and boom, you want your dick cut off. But we'll talk about this next
or
week.
A giant one put on.
We'll kind of get into this next week.
Ridiculously huge, too.
So I think next week we will be talking about gun control and whatever. If anything happens this weekend, we'll probably bring that into it as well.
Yeah, we'll discuss that more as a general sense. We do talk about, like, current things, but we're not, obviously, if you were watching and listening, really should not be your news source.
No.
We are an opinion show that just gives our opinions on the goings on, and it's something like really fucked up or
obviously if anything major happens, we will discuss
we'll talk about it.
But I mean,
at the end of the day, we talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about.
Somehow we keep not talking about China. So I don't
know.
Are we being persuaded by China? Are we somehow being manipulated? Being manipulated by China?
It's like, we can't have the lost art of common sense to an episode.
Yeah, that will destroy the Chinese.
Release the trans day of vengeance.
Yeah, so China's just trying to stop us too, from talking about them, because we might collapse China.
I think we will. I think the truth's going to come out.
Yeah,
that'll happen. Well, I don't know if I got much else to say. I think Ukraine is shady as fuck. I don't think we should be over there. I don't think it's any of our business. Just a quick reference to all of that. We have no business sending all this shit to Ukraine, while our borders now on the north and south are a total shit show. So
yeah,
that's my outlook on it, because I don't give a shit. You got anything else?
I'd like to see I'd like to see the amount of Ukrainians dead versus how many people have died from fentanyl in the same amount of time.
It's not a lot of fentanyl, I know that.
I just see it like what the, border, we protect foreign borders instead of our border.
And, Washington does not give a shit about its people.
Yeah,
so I don't know. I don't got anything else. You got anything else?
I got nothing.
Well, that wraps it up. So until next time, I'm Josh.
And I'm Kevin.
And this was the Lost Art of Common Sense. Common Sense. Common Sense. Common Sense. Common Sense. Common Sense. We'll see you next week.
Common Sense. Look at my titties.